Top 10 TV shows all about monsters. FYI, Korean monster TV shows will not be included, as they deserve their own list. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Number 10. Swamp Thing. Based on the DC comic, Swamp Thing follows the events that follow when a young girl contracts an unknown deadly disease and dies. Dr. Abby Arcane is called back from abroad by the CDC to investigate what seems to be a deadly swamp-borne virus in a small town in Louisiana, but soon discovers that the swamp in the town holds mystical and terrifying secrets. Amidst the rising panic of the terrified populace, a mysterious creature emerges from the murky marsh, and she finds herself facing the nightmares of a supernatural world where no one is safe. While in the town, she develops a bond with disgraced scientist Alec Holland. After Holland tragically dies, Abby becomes entangled in the town's various dangers and mysteries that hint at a larger conspiracy. Although lasting only one season, the series received positive reviews from critics, particularly for the series' horror elements and practical monster effects. Number 9. Monsters. This horror anthology series features episodes that, as the title suggests, usually involve monsters, ranging from animatronic puppets from a fictional children's TV show to weapon-wielding, mutated lab rats, as the antagonists of the episodes. Some episodes of the series, which blends comic elements into the horror, are adaptations of stories written by noted authors, including Stephen King. A nearly forgotten gem of a TV show that was first released in 1988, Monsters featured a variety of monsters from vicious man-eating plants to friendly aliens from outer space. Producer and creator Richard P. Rubenstein said he wanted the show to be a mixture of fun and scare, and for the monsters to be creatures of fantasy and fairy tales rather than more realistic menaces such as serial killers. Although it is the oldest entry on the list, Monsters is definitely worth not just watching, but binging. Number 8. Monsterland. Created by Mary Laws, Monsterland is based on a collection of short stories called North American Lake Monsters by Nathan Bollingrud. This anthology series with loosely connected episodes tells stories about broken people who are driven to desperate acts in an attempt to repair their lives, ultimately showing that there is a thin line between man and monster. The stories include encounters with gothic beasts, including fallen angels and werewolves. This provocative anthology examines the monsters within and among us. Grounded in reality, it explores the dark, unique, and at times starkly conflicting realities that can exist inside one person. Number 7. October Faction. October Faction follows the story of a monster hunting couple, Fred and Dolores Allen, who are members of Presidio, a secret organization tasked to protect humanity from various breeds of monsters. Following the death of Fred's father Samuel, the couple and their twin teenage children, Jeff and Viv, decide to go back to their hometown of Barrington-on-Hudson, in New York, to arrange the funeral. Haunted with childhood memories of his brother's death and the incessant arguments with his parents over his inadequacy and his choice in women, Fred is repulsed by his childhood home. While there, his children soon begin showing supernatural tendencies. During an impromptu séance Viv agrees to participate in order to fit in with her peers, she has visions of a creature with long hair chained to the seafloor, struggling to free itself, and she unintentionally liberates it. Her brother Jeff also starts seeing visions and accidentally reveals a teacher's deepest, darkest secret about his wife in front of his classmates, causing both him and his sister to quickly become ridiculed outcasts. Meanwhile, Fred and Dolores must hide their identities from the townsfolk and appear to live a normal life. This proves hard from the start as strange things begin to unfold in the sleepy little town. Number 6. Primeval. When temporal anomalies start appearing across the United Kingdom, through which all sorts of dangerous prehistoric monstrous creatures from Earth's distant past and near future enter the present, an average university professor, Nick Cutter, is secretly enlisted by the government to investigate. He, along with a hand-selected team of scientists, must track down the anomalies as well as capture the creatures coming through. As they wade deeper into the mystery involving the time anomalies and creatures, they also uncover a sinister plot by a terrorist group to bring about the end of the world that is related to the disappearance of Nick's wife through one of the temporal anomalies years earlier. Number 5. Hemlock Grove. The series is set in the town of Hemlock Grove, Pennsylvania. A town that is a mixture of extreme wealth and poverty,
as the closing of the town's steel mill many years earlier caused many to lose their jobs.
The town's main sources of employment are now the Godfrey Institute for Biomedical Technologies and Hemlock Acres Hospital. Heading the institute, which is rumored to conduct sinister experiments on a daily basis, is the imposing Olivia Godfrey, while Hemlock Acres' lead psychiatrist is Olivia's brother-in-law, Dr. Norman Godfrey. As Season 1 opens, the town's rumor mill turns even more twisted, as 2 teenage girls are brutally killed and their bodies left for unsuspecting people to find the next day. 17-year-old Romani, Peter Romansek, is suspected of the crimes by some of the townsfolk. Secretly, a werewolf, he sets out to solve the mystery of the murders with help from the troubled Roman Godfrey, heir to the Godfrey estate. Number 4. The Mist.
Based on the 1980 horror novella of the same name by author Stephen King, The Mist is about an unexplained mist that slowly engulfs the town of Bridgeville, Maine, creating an almost impenetrable barrier to visibility. The residents of the town soon learn the situation is even more precarious as mysterious monsters and phenomena in the mist attack and kill most who enter it, trapping several groups of people in a shopping mall, a church, and a hospital. Eventually, people begin to see apparitions in the mist from their past, fears, or guilt that help or kill them depending on how they react. Having to fight both actual monsters as well as inner ones, the townspeople realize that their fight for survival will be neither easy nor straightforward.
Number 3. Grimm. Grimm is a dark fantasy crime drama series that premiered on NBC in 2011 and ran for 6 seasons. The show is inspired by classic fairy tales and features a unique blend of fantasy, horror, and police procedural elements. The story follows homicide detective Nick Burkhart. After the death of the aunt who raised him, he discovers that he is a descendant of a long line of hunters called Grimms, who have the ability to see through monsters' human form. These hunters are tasked with protecting humanity from supernatural creatures and monsters known as Vesson, who are able to disguise themselves as ordinary humans. As Nick navigates the dangerous world of Vesson, he must also balance his personal life and relationships with his duty to protect the innocent. With its compelling storylines, diverse cast of characters, and rich world-building, Grimm has become a beloved cult classic among fans of the fantasy and horror genres, and is sure to satisfy. Number 2. Stranger Things. Set in the 1980s, the series centers on the residents of the fictional small town of Hawkins, Indiana. After a nearby human experimentation facility accidentally opens a gateway between Earth and an alternate dimension called the Upside Down, the townfolk start to get plagued by hostile mysterious monsters from the other world. The story kicks off when a boy named Will Byers goes missing during the night after being followed home by a strange-looking monster. When more people start to go missing or turn up dead, the only clue the residents have is the appearance of a mysterious young girl with even more mysterious abilities. Number 1. From. First released in 2022, the series is set in a nightmarish town in the United States that traps all those who enter. Once you drive into it, it is impossible to escape as all roads eventually lead back to the town. And if that wasn't bad enough, every night, scary shape-shifting monsters who disguise themselves as human come out every night to hunt the residents for sport. The unwilling residents strive to stay alive as they search for secrets hidden within the town and beyond in the hope of finding a way out. With 3 exciting seasons already out, the series is only set to get better and better and is definitely one to watch for fans of the horror and mystery genres.